Vandami Sādhu, and good evening, everyone. Good morning to everyone in the West Hemisphere. So, welcome to the lesson on 7 stages of purification. So, I'm Yi Rong, and I'm the meeting co-host who will be helping Bante and everyone in today's session. May we invite Sādhu to start the teaching, and may we invite the interpreter Bante to start the translation. Sādhu, Sādhu, Sādhu.
Before we start Dhamma talks, we will pay homage to the Buddhas by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So today we will start talking about the 7 purifications. So we can learn the 7 purification in Majjhima Nikaya. Also, we can also find in Visuddhimagga. So, when we talk about the 7 purification, we also have to know the purifications of morality in the very beginning. In this purification, we have to learn many different things about many different cases. Okay, now we will start with the first one. Patimokkha restraints. Then we also have another types. Indiya Samana Sila, the faculty restraints. And we also have another one, Ajiva Parisuddhi Sila, the pure livelihood. And we also have the last one, Vajjasani Sita, the morality related to requisites. So whenever we talk about Sila, we have to talk about these 4. The 4 lay persons, we may have a little bit different. The Patimokkha Samana Sila, the first one. Patimokkha Samana Sila means the Patimokkha rules that we have to follow. When we can observe the 227 rules for bhikkhus, that means we have Patimokkha Samana Sila. Then for about lay persons, it will be a little bit different. So we may have 5 precepts. We also have 8 precepts, 9 precepts, or 10 precepts. So as we people have to follow the Patimokkha rules. Lay persons also should follow 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 9 precepts, or 10 precepts. This is also same to Silavisuddhi, the first parts. So here we have to talk about one thing. When we say restraint, that means we have to avoid doing something. We have to avoid mistakes. Actually, we also have many other rules and regulations in Buddha's teaching, especially in Vinaya. We have Charita Sila, that means we have to practice. We have Varita Sila, that we have to avoid. So in brief, there are some responsibilities and duties we have to perform as ordained persons or as lay persons. That is called Charita Sila. We have to do it. If we cannot perform, if we cannot fulfill our duties, then we cannot say we are that much good or smart. In the case of Sila, the morality, it also covers our responsibilities, duties to be performed. Now, Varita Sila is a very common in everywhere. For example, like 5 precepts, we have to avoid. If we cannot avoid, then we are immoral. In the Patimokkha rules, there are many rules we have to avoid. we must avoid doing that kind of things. Now we also have to do or follow some rules and regulations, but to perform some of our duties. That's called Patimokha restraint. So in brief, there are only two rules here. One is to do, or to accumulate, or to perform. Another one is to avoid, to abstain, or to refrain from. Then if we summarize another way, there are many, many good things, good quality we have to fulfill, we have to complete. That is called Sila. There are many, many bad things, very harmful for ourselves, very harmful for our community. We have to avoid doing it. This is also called Sila. We have the next one, Indriya Samvara Sila, faculty restraint. Sometimes, although we avoid or we perform, it's not very smooth if we don't do Indriya Samvara Sila, if we don't practice the faculty restraint. This is also from our daily life. When we see, hear, smell, taste, or touch, and even in thinking, we have to train ourselves to have more wholesome minds. For example, when we see something desirable, attachment can arise anytime. It can be an obstacle to improve ourselves. Sometimes we may see undesirable objects, and we may get angry and disappointed. It can be an obstacle to improve ourselves. So that although we have eyes, when we see something, we must train ourselves not to have unwholesome thoughts or unwholesome minds. This is also called Indriya Samvara Sila. Similarly, when we hear desirable, how we like, then it will be greed, attachment, or pleasant feeling. Then if we hear undesirable things or we dislike, then we may get angry, disappointed. So if we like, it can be lobha, greed. If we dislike, it can be dosa, hatred. These two can be an obstacle to improve ourselves. Again, we have smelling. If we smell something good, we may feel happy, pleasant, we may feel greedy. Then if we smell something undesirable, then we may get angry, disappointed. It can be an obstacle for our improvement. Similarly, when tasting something good, desirable, then we may have greed. If we taste something undesirable, we may get angry and disappointed. It can be an obstacle. Then touching. We like many small things to touch with our body. For example, clothes. When we have fine clothes, smooth clothes, and also it will be desirable for us, then we may be greedy. If we dislike, then we may get angry or we may be disappointed. Those can be obstacle. Then similarly, thinking. Sometimes we think or we remember many bad things about the past or some other people's or many different undesirable things. Sometimes we also think about desirable things. So if we like too much about our thinking, how we have thought, then it can be an obstacle. Sometimes we may have succeeded from some times ago. We remember it, and we keep feeling pleasant. Then we spend our time with that kind of pleasant mind. Compared to angry is good, but to improve ourselves is not enough. Similarly, we may remember our past, bad memory of our past. Then it can be an obstacle. We may get angry, sorry, disappointed, lamentation, grief, sorrow, many unpleasant minds. It can be an obstacle for our improvement. So that's why we also need to practice the faculty restraint, training our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This is also for our improvement. We can train all the sin doors. We can subside unwholesome minds. We can develop wholesome minds. That is why the Buddha also recommended Indriya Samvara Sila, the faculty restraint. Now we have the next one, Ajiva Parisuddhi Sila, the pure livelihoods. What does it mean, pure livelihoods? We can also say another way, not harmful for ourselves, not harmful for our environment. This is called pure livelihoods. As a Buddhist, the Buddha also explains or recommended to abstain from 5 types of traits. Weapon traits. This is very harmful for other living beings. Poison traits. It will be harmful for living beings. Liquid traits or intoxicant traits. They're also harmful for other living beings. Then meat trait or flesh traits. Also, we have to kill or we have to order to kill animals. These are also called impure livelihoods. Finally, human trafficking. So this is also very harmful for other parties. The Buddha recommended to have pure livelihoods. So whenever we talk about pure livelihoods, we also have to talk about our bodily actions and bhava actions. Sometimes our livelihood is pure, sometimes impure. It depends on our actions, especially bodily actions and bhava actions. So sometimes we have to survive killing other living beings. Like a hunter, we have to hunt, we have to survive. Then similarly, by stealing other people's property, people survive. This is also wrong livelihoods. Such misconduct. By doing such misconduct, people have to survive. That is also called wrong livelihoods. Then for about bhava actions, we have 4 wrong speech. 4 types of wrong speech. For example, telling a lie. By cheating people, we can earn money, we can survive. This is the wrong livelihoods. By slandering, backbiting, then we can also earn money. This is also wrong livelihoods. Then by using abusive words, we survive or we earn money. This is also wrong livelihoods. By telling useless things, vain talk or useless talk, we earn money. This is also called wrong livelihoods. Actually, it will be very wide. There are many things to explain about Ajiva Parisuddhi. Later, we have to explain again. The Pacchasana Sila, we also say the morality related to the Roga 6. So when we are using the 4 Roga 6 in our daily life, we have to reflect on the purpose of using the properties, using the Roga 6, in order that we may have less attachment to the Roga 6. For example, when we are going to use or when we are going to wear the clothes, we have to reflect. I don't wear this clothes to beautify myself. I just wear this clothes to protect myself from heat and cold, the sunlight, the mosquito bites, wind, and so on. Similarly, when we are going to eat the foods or when eating foods, we have to reflect. I don't eat these foods for beauty or strength. I just wear these foods to sustain this body and to work or to perform the brahmacharyas, the holy practice. So to protect myself from all disease and new disease and so on, we have to reflect whenever we eat, we accept the foods. So this is called Pajjasanisita Sila. That means when we reflect on the foods like this, we may not have attachment to the foods. So in brief, we must remember the purpose of eating foods. This is called Pajjasanisita. Similarly, when we are going to live in the monastery, in the building, in our residence, we also have to reflect on the purpose of living in the dwelling place. So we just live in our residence to protect ourselves from the rain, wind, the sun, insect bite, mosquito bite, heat and cold, and so on. Similarly, when we are going to use medicine, we're going to take medicine, we also have to reflect on the purpose of taking medicine. To sustain this body, we just take that medicine. To cure the sickness, we just use this medicine, and so on. So yeah, the main thing is, whenever we use any properties donated by devotees or obtained by ourselves, our own requisites, we have to reflect on the purpose of using the four requisites. Here, not only four requisites, whatever thing we use, for example, even drinking water, this is like a medicine. We have to reflect the purpose of drinking. Similarly, when we are going to use walking stick, now we are not very old yet, we don't need, but as a foreign resident bhikkhus, we have to use walking stick. Now we also have to reflect on it. Whenever we wear a slipper, we have to reflect on the purpose of wearing slipper, right, to sustain our body, not for beautifying. Okay, in brief, there are four types of silas, briefly, in Buddha's teaching. The first one is the Patimokkha Samvara Sila, the Patimokkha restraints. The second one is Indriya Samvara, the faculty restraints. Now we have three, Ajava Parisuddhi, the pure livelihoods, and Pajjasanisita, the morality related to the Roga 6. We have two types of morality again. In Pali, we have Nisita and Anisita Sila. What does it mean, Nisita? Nisita means dependence on craving and wrong view. This is called Nisita. In Pali, if we say Nisita, it just means dependence. Dependence on what? We have to understand dependence on craving and wrong view. Now we have Anisita, independent. This is independent on craving and wrong view. So we can categorize into two. There are only two types of sila. This is also from our daily life. The first one is Nisita Sila, And we say craving and a wrong view. Second also, independent and craving and wrong view. Okay, here I have to explain what's it really called craving. So here we have craving is expecting gain, fame, honor, and here and there, hereafter. So that means sometimes our attachments or craving force us to practice sila. This is not really good purpose. So sometimes we may expect gain, and we observe sila. This is called nisita sila. Sometimes we don't expect any gain. We just observe sila. It will be anisita sila. Then similarly, fame. Sometimes we also misunderstand. If I observe sila, people will respect me, or maybe people offer me more, or I will have good reputation, and so on. Expecting fame or good reputation. If we observe the sila, it will be nisita, depending on craving. In Pali, we call tanha nisita. Then another one is honor. Sometimes we expect honor from other people. If I observe silas, many people will honor me. We expect like that, and also we just do sila. Then sometimes we just expect these things here in this body life. Some we also expect maybe hereafter in these lives. So if we can observe sila, we become very famous in our future life. We can gain more in the future, or we have more honors by many people in the future, like that. If we expect the benefits like this in this very life or in the future existence, that kind of sila is called nisita sila. If we don't expect any gain, fame, or honor, we just practice with quick intention to purify ourselves. It will be anisita sila, independent on craving. Now, what is it called? Wrong view. So wrong view is believing that the end of suffering can be made by the wrong practice, such as practicing like a dog and like a car and so forth. This is also a kind of wrong view. Sometimes we have very powerful wrong view. For example, there are some people, we don't need to do many different things. If we just do sila, it's perfect. We can make end of suffering with sila. When we have this kind of idea, we are holding wrong view. This is Titi Nisita, depending on wrong view. So in our society, we can find many types of wrong view holder. There may be some other meditators, they may say, we don't need to practice sila that much. If we have vipassana, is good enough. Then there are also some other meditators, they may say, we don't need to do many things. If we just do sila, is good enough. Then we can make end of suffering. So anyway, if we have this kind of idea, this is not really very good for our future. We must balance. Morality is the basics to purify our minds. If we can purify our minds, we have to continue practicing vipassana to purify totally, to eradicate defilements. This is the way the Buddha recommended. That is why if somebody say, no need sila, just go to vipassana. No need samadhi, just go to vipassana. This is also called wrong view. That you don't need to do many things like a sila or samadhi, just do vipassana. It's good enough. Right? There will be many stories in Buddha's teaching, especially in the commentary and many other stories. It also happened practically. For example, like there's a one Mahathera. He was sick, very old. He observed precepts very long time. He expected to see the future Buddha. But many people came to see him. They thought he was an arhat. Also, a little bit noise. Then the Mahathera asks his disciple, why people are gathering like that? They want to see you are Prinivana. The Mahathera said, I'm not arhat. Then he also realized, okay, please help me. I should practice now. He just recalled his morality. Then there's a joy and happiness. Finally, he can close vipassana and attain arhatship. But in the story, it just mentioned he practiced vipassana that much in detail. Just recall his sila, then practice vipassana, attain arhatship. It doesn't mention anything about concentration. Morality is enough to practice vipassana. This is also wrong view. So in reality, when we recall it, sila, morality, this is also samatha, practicing concentration. So that means if we don't believe, if we don't accept, sila can produce samadhi, samadhi can produce panya, then this also can be wrong view. We must be careful. Okay, the main thing is here, if we think that only sila is enough to purify or to make inner suffering, this is also wrong view. If we just think we don't need sila, just do vipassana, we can make inner suffering, this is also called wrong view. So that means here tanha nisita, titi nisita. Depending on wrong view, depending on craving, this is really very bad for our practice. If anisita, independent on craving and wrong view, that means our mind is free. If our mind is totally free, we can purify ourselves, we can also improve ourselves. So as a Buddhist, we have to try anisita sila, independent morality. Sapriyanda and apriyanda. What does it mean, sapriyanda? Sapriyanda means limited. We also have apriyanda, unlimited. What is limited and unlimited? Of course, here we have lava, gain, yasa, follower, families such as friends and relatives, anger, the organs of the body, jivita, life. All these are called limited. For example, gain. If we just think about the gain too much, we will not respect to sila. Then we have an easier way to explain the one. For example, there are somebody that will break many precepts for ani. That means their morality is limited with lava, gain. Their morality is ended in gain. So they have to sacrifice their morality for gain. This is called lava priyanta. So in our community, we have to check what kind of person we are. When we are going to talk about sila parami, the perfections of morality, we have to remember these priyanta. Then again, we have yasa, the followers of families, such as friends and relatives. So there are some people, they have to break precepts for their family, for their friends, or for their relatives. Then this is also called yasa priyanta. Their morality is ended in their companies, their companion, and their friends or families. So when we talk about Sila Parami, the first one is Sila Parami, second stage is Sila Upa Parami, the third stage is Sila Paramata Parami. So we have to check how strongly do we fulfill Sila Parami with these two, Lava. How many times have I broken Sila for gain? How many times have I broken Sila for families? If we are never broken any precepts for gain or for families, relatives, or friends, then we have already fulfilled Sila Parami, the standard Sila Parami, Sila perfections of Sila. Now we have the next steps, Anga, the organs of body. That means the body parts. So in this case, when we talk about Parami, it will be Sila Upa Parami. There are some practitioners, although they have to sacrifice with their body parts, they just follow the Sila. They just sacrifice their body parts or organs. That's called Anga Priyanta. For example, we have the first story in the Dhammavara, Venerable Chakupala. His eyesight is not very good. Also, always pain is also very terrible, cannot see very well. There's also a traditional physician. He gives some treatment. There is a wine, special wine for eye drop. If we lay down and just use that wine, keep in the eye for a while, he could recover. But unfortunately, he didn't lie down. By standing or sitting, he just applied this wine to his eyes. He could not recover from that sickness. Then, finally, the physician came to see him, how he used the wine, his medicine. He believed that his medicine can cure easily. But in the case of this Venerable Chakupala, it's very long. He suspected, why is so long? He realized that Venerable Chakupala didn't lay down, just sitting or standing. He lived whole day, whole night. He just applied this ointment while sitting or standing. Then he recommended, Venerable Sir, please lying down and applying this wine. He practiced Dhutanga many years already. That is why, not many years, maybe a few months already. He also has determined already, he always do give up. Then finally, the physician talked to him, Venerable Sir, please don't tell anybody I give you medicine. It's very shameful for him, sure. I will not tell anybody I offer you medicine. Then Venerable Chakupala thought, now the physician gave up already? Which one would you choose? You just think about only one thing. In the samsara, I have been blind. I have been a crippled many times. In the samsara, I have never attained any path of fruition knowledge. That's why I have to suffer like this. He just follow the Dhamma. He just keep practicing his Dhutanga. Then he blind. He was totally blind. He also attained headship. In his case, he just gave up his eyesight for the Dhamma. We can say Anga Priyanda. He's already crossed over that path. We can say maybe Jivita Priyanda, maybe the next one, the last one. Okay, the main thing is Anga Priyanda means we will not sacrifice with our body parts for our morality. If we cannot sacrifice, then it cannot be Anga. We can be Anga Priyanda. Whatever that happen, I will accept. Then just keep practicing, sacrificing with our eyesight, ears, or something, some body parts. They can be Anga Priyanda. We can say Sila Upaparami, mediums, morality, perfection. The last one is Jivita, life. If somebody is sacrificing his life for morality, then this can be called Jivita Priyanda. So, here Sapriyanda means limited. Our morality is very limited. That means limited with a K. If there's a K, I will break precepts. I will follow the K. Similarly, Yasa, if I have followers, friends, families, I will follow my family desire, my friend desire, I will break precepts. Similarly, Anga, body parts. If I have to sacrifice with my body parts, I will break precepts. I will take care of my body parts. Similarly, Jivita, life. If I have to sacrifice with my life, I will not do it. I will just follow. I will just take care of my life. This is called Sapriyanda, limited. Apriyanda means we don't limit. We don't limit our morality with gay, families, followers, or we don't limit our morality with organs of the body and lives. This is called Apriyanda. So when we are going to fulfill parami, we have to remember this Priyanda and Apriyanda. If we have a lot of Priyanda, limited, we're going to fulfill parami successfully. We're going to be mature in parami. We're going to have mature perfections. If we have unlimited sila, we don't think about lava, yasa, anga, or jivita. We can fulfill parami, we can mature our parami, perfections of morality. Now we have the next groove again. Sorry. We have the last part, 4 types of virtues. So when we are going to practice, we also have to know these 4 types of virtues. The first one is Hana Bhagiya. Second one is Titi Bhagiya. The third one is Visisa Bhagiya. The last one is Nibida Bhagiya. So the first one, Hana Bhagiya, the degradation of virtues. That means our morality is getting weaker and weaker. This is called Hana Bhagiya. Especially when we have habits of living with wrong actions, it will become weaker and weaker gradually. For example, in the very beginning of killing other animals, we will be a little bit scared. If we are very familiar with killing, later we will not scared. Similarly, telling a lie. In the very beginning, we will be scared. Gradually, we are not very scared. Then gradually, it becomes weaker and weaker. So Hana Bhagya. So we also have to think about Hana Bhagya in many different ways. Another thing is community or associations. So if we associate with bad people most of the time, because of their lifespan and our their lifetime and our lifestyles are totally different, then also they will also say easily, right? Morality is not that much necessary. Well, you have to follow very strict rules. Also, they may say many different things. So they will persuade us to break precepts. But it can be one of the cause of weakening or maybe degrading our precepts. If we associate with good people or moral people, we can upgrade our morality. Another thing is if we don't think wrong things, like a breaking precept as a mistakes. Sometimes we don't accept that killing living being is mistakes. Especially like killing animals, right? It's like a vegetable. Some people say like that. So if we don't think wrongdoing as a mistake or as a bad things, then we will break many precepts. Our morality will become weaker and weaker. Sometimes we don't train our controlling faculties. I have already said sense restraint, right? Faculty restraint. We don't train our faculties that much, then it can be one of the cause of breaking precepts. It will make our concentration, our morality weaker. And not only that, we also have many wrong thoughts. If we have only wrong thoughts sometimes, not really big problem. If we have many wrong thoughts, sometimes whole day wrong thoughts, then it will make our morality weaker. Sometimes most of the time we have unwholesome thoughts or wrong thoughts, then it will make our concentration, our morality weaker and weaker. Sorry. So these are the reasons of weakening or making our concentration or our morality weaker. Then again, we have next one, Titi Bhagya. This is a stagnation of virtues. That means we remain in the same place without improving. Sometimes, although we are practicing Sila, we don't try to improve it. Sometimes we just practice only Sila. We don't try to improve with Samadhi. So when we have Sila, morality, we must try to improve ourselves. To have Sila, also to have concentration, this is called, if we don't try, this is called Titi Bhagya. We just remain in Sila without moving forward. Then the next one is Visisa Bhagya, distinctions of virtues. So that means we improve our Sila by practicing concentration. This is called Visisa Bhagya. So when we have concentration, we can make our morality stronger. Okay, practically, morality is only bodily actions and bhava actions. If we can train our bodily actions and bhava action, we can be moral. But for about concentration, we must train our minds. Our speech and actions, body actions and bhava actions come from our minds. When our mind is good, our bodily action will be good. Our bhava action will be good. When our mental action is very bad, our bodily actions and bhava action will be bad. That is why we also need to train our minds. If we can train our minds, we are improving our precepts. That's why here we call Visesa Bhagya, the distinctions of virtues. Then the last one, Nibbeda Bhagya. So Nibbeda Bhagya Sila means the penetrations of virtues. We can also say another way, disenchantment. Nibbeda also called disenchantment. So that means if we can practice Vipassana, we may have Nibbeda Bhagya, the penetrations of virtues. So that means based on Sila, we can also practice Samadhi, we can also practice Vipassana, then we can say we are improving every day. So these are called 4 types of virtues. Then this is the last part for this talk. Anyway, so now I will summarize. We have 2 types of silas, charita and varita. That means to avoid and to perform. Although we have sila, if we don't continue practicing for higher stage, then we are not improving. We have to improve ourselves every day. Then another thing is, here we have different types of parami. How we can test our maturity of perfections. If we wish to know how mature our perfection, now we have to test with 4 limited. We have lava, gain, yasa, family, friends, relatives, or attendants, or relatives, or anybody. Then we also can also text with body parts, organs of the bodies, and we also have to text with our life. So if we don't follow the gain or faith or anything, our morality becomes stronger. Our perfection becomes mature. We can test ourselves in many other ways. But here, it should be simple, right? We have to follow our own precepts. As a bhikkhu, we have many different types of rules and regulations. As the lay persons, we also have to follow 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 9 precepts, 10 precepts. And as an ordained person, we have to follow many rules. As lay persons, so we have to follow many rules. Moreover, we have many responsibilities and duties. That is, as ordained person, we have bhikkhu's duties. As lay devotees, you have lay devotees' duties. Then there will be some family. Husband may have husband duties. Wife may have wife duties. Children's duties. Parents' duties. Employers' duties. Employees' duties. Leaders' duties. Followers' duties. We have many duties to be performed. If we can perform all these things, and if we can avoid wrongdoings, we become moral. If we are moral, we can also improve ourselves. The stronger our morality, the stronger our perfections. So based on these perfections, if we expect it to attain nirvana, we can also attain nirvana. If we wish to be maybe small Buddha, like Pachaka Buddha, it also can be. If we wish to be Buddha, we can also be Buddha, like Sammasambuddha. So the main thing is, Sila is a parami, perfections. The stronger Sila we have, the stronger our perfection it will be. That's why, may you all be able to fulfill the perfections of morality, and may you all be able to make endless suffering as much as you can. That's all. Sādhu, Sādhu, Sādhu.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. We'll start with this question, the first question. Pandami Siador, following two questions are related with discerning the second method. Because of the arising of nama, ayantana rupa arises in the nama rupa pachaya salayatanama, the fourth link of the first method of pacha samupada. Question 1. Why can any of the chitta, Cetasika nama group of 85 chitta, 52 Cetasika, which arise subsequently, support the Chatusamutta Rupakaya, which has arisen at the preceding mind moment? Question 2. What is the difference between discerning the Chatusamutta Rupakaya, which has arisen at the preceding mind moment as Ayantana Rupa on the side of effect, and discerning one of the 5 Ayantana Rupa, which reaches the static stage after having arose simultaneously with the preceding mind moment as Ayantana Rupa on the side of effect?
So the first question, right? Cetasika groove, right? Which can rise subsequently supports the Chatusamutta Rupa Kaya, which is rising in preceding mind moments with the Patthana, right? Okay. That one is, Pacha Jata Pachayo. We have Pacha Jata Pachayo. So that means, to clarify that one, we should talk about the last mind moment. The last mind moment is a death mind moment, right? So death mind moments cannot support. That means death moment will be the last one that can support Rupa, Kamacha Rupas. So that means as long as there's a Nama in this body life, there can be Rupa. Rupa can rise to preceding mind moment. So if there's no more Nama in the future, for example, like a Juti, death moment, then together with death moments, all the Kamacha Rupa will perish. No more. So the main thing is, without Nama, as a human being, without Nama, there cannot be no more Chitija Rupas. If there's no more Kamacha Rupas, no more Uruja Rupas, and no more other. Okay? We have four types of Rupas. Chatusamutta Rupas. That is why this is a Pachajara Pachaya. Sasirum Namas can support preceding Rupas. Like this. Okay? Then second one, the difference between discerning Chatusamutta Rupa Kaya, which is rising as preceding mind moments, and Arana Rupa on other side effects, and discerning one of the 5 Arana Rupas, which reach the state after having arose simultaneously with preceding mind moments and Arana Rupas on the side of effect. On the side of effect. Chatusamutta Rupas Kaya, which has risen at the preceding mind moment, is Arana Rupa. Okay. This is Arana Rupas, okay? So actually, okay, in this question is very clear already. Okay, so when we talk about supporting, right? Okay, we do say interdependent. From Nama to Rupa is a Pachajata. Nama is the cause, when Rupa is the effect, is the Pachajata. When the Rupa is the cause, Nama is the effect, it can be Purichata. They are interdependent. Interrelated, we can say like that. Anyway, in your questions, it's very, okay, we have to talk about second part, theta stage. When the Rupa can be powerful dependence, it must be in the theta stage because it's the most powerful moment. When arising state is very weak, Parisian state also very weak, that's why in the theta stage, it become powerful, that's why it become powerful dependent. That's why we can say Purichata Nisaya. Okay, there's also Purichata, also Nisaya. Anyway, the main thing is, whenever we talk about discerning Chatusamutta Rupa, which arise with preceding mind moments, that means when we talk about Pachachata, we can say normally with preceding mind moments. When we talk about Bodhicharya, it must be in the status stage. Okay, this thing will be different like this. Okay.
Sādhu, I think her question is related the definition of the effect of this Pachachata relationship. The effect is Ayatana Rupa. So the definition of Ayatana Rupa, first is both definition should be preceding mind moment. So the first one is the Ayatana Rupa altogether as a Rupa Kaya. We take that as Ayatana Rupa as effect, or the second condition, we take each one of the Ayatana Rupa as the effect, and this one should be at the static stage. So when someone practicing Vipassana, which definition should we use for Ayatana Rupa?
Okay. So that means it depends. Okay, it depends. It depends means, for example, now here we say the first one is preceding mind moment, all the Chatuja Rupas, right? So it can be one by one. For example, like in the case of Purification, it's Chatuja Rupas, right? It can be Kamaja, Chatuja, Uruja, everything. Purification also can be everything. But one more thing, when we talk about what true Purification, it must be only Kamaja Rupas. It cannot be other Rupas. Okay? It depends how we descend. Okay?
Thank you, Sādhu. So we will move on to the next question. Vandami Sādhu, Buddha said if a person is lacking integrity, we should not take on as a teacher. If a bhikkhu committed parijika but still remain as a bhikkhu and continue to be a meditation teacher, should we learn from such a bhikkhu? Is he considered as one who is lack of integrity according to the Buddha? Sādhu, Sādhu, Sādhu.
So as long as he continues as ordained person after breaking that kind of precepts, sure, we should not follow. It will be very harmful, right? Okay, so according to Buddha teaching, is a lack of integrity, sure. Okay.
Third question, Vandami Sādhu, how can one practically check that he is not doing wholesome deeds out of gain, fame, and honor? Many will say that they're doing for Buddha Sasana or for the benefits of beings or compassion of all beings. How can one check oneself and others? Sādhu, Sādhu, Sādhu.
Okay. Yeah, we cannot say for all living beings, right? We can say our environments. For example, now I work for Paudoya. Our community is very small, right? So that means if there are many people accept, then we can do for many people. Okay, the main thing is, your question is without expecting, right? Gain and fame, right?
Yes.
Person teach out of gain and fame and something like that, right?
And how can
so
you
that means
yourself that you're not doing it out of the gain and fame?
Okay. So that means it depends on our mind. We have to check our mind frequently, right? So that means sometimes we expect gain, but if we don't follow the gain too much, it's okay. I think as an ordinary people, like including Sotapanna, Sakatagami, they may expect gain maybe because they have a loba, right? But although we have a loba, we have to subside or we have to subdue our loba, our greed. If we don't subside, if we don't try to subdue, then it will be very harmful for our mind in the future. Then the saying again, faith. So sometimes, we will talk about our donation too much. I offer this, just for talking. We can make friends a lot, right? We have that kind of things. This just for fame, we can understand like that. Then for about honor, sure. Then if many people honor him, he may like that kind of honoring. People honor me, this people honor me, this people honor me like that. Okay, in Myanmar we have some certificate, showing certificate. You make sure I offer this one. You honor your own dana. Sometimes you are not honoring. You just can do jaganosati, recollection of your charity. It's okay. Okay, now we have to say, how can we know? Right? That means we can know if we expect gain, we can also know if we expect fame, we can also know honor from other people. This it depends on ourselves. Another thing is their behavior will show us, right? Their behavior, the way they speak, the way they act, can say like that. I mean, as you say here, now many people will say that they are doing Buddha Sasana for Buddha Sasana and so on. For the benefits, okay. Or the how we can check one step and other, right? We can check ourselves easily, but we have to check other people a little bit difficult. So when we want to try to check ourselves, very clear, right? We may expect gain, fame, or our honor. So this is another thing is, Jaganusti will be different. Jaganusti means you offer, you're trying to remember the one frequently. This is not for honor, just for recollection. That is it. No, we cannot say unwholesome. But if we try to check other people, right? That means they want to gain. Sometimes, okay, for popularity, okay. In our community, we can find many people, sometimes they are offering just for popularity. I'm a donor of this good tea, that's good tea. I'm a donor of maybe food, or this day, that day, many days like that, just for honor, just for faith, something like that. Then if we are just proud of ourselves too much, our dana too much, we can say this is it. We are trying for gain or faith, or fame or honor. If we don't think about that, we just offer freely, then we don't boast many people. Okay, that means if there's somebody don't boast us, also we can understand. It's just donor, not for gain, not for pay, not for fame or not for honor. Okay. Then next one.
Okay. Sadhu. Okay, next question. Vandami Sado. If a monk committed serious offense, can he still attain jhana, magga, and phala? Second question is, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'll just read the second one also. If a nun has very bad behavior, like asking for monetary donation directly from devotees, but yet she claims that she is a high-level vipassana practitioner, how can a person without observing sila proceed with the practice to jhana and vipassana, since sila is the base of meditation?
So now the first question, right?
Yeah.
So if a bhikkhu committed very serious offense, then this is like a breaking Buddha's law. He cannot attain anything. Magga, phala, or jhana. The second question. So sometimes like a behavior is okay, sometimes even arhats cannot change their behavior. It doesn't matter. The problem is asking for donation. This is the problem. So that means sometimes, like when they are practicing, they may follow the teacher's instructions, but later, when they live alone, they may change their behavior, or they may do many different things. Then sure, their concentration level will become weaker and weaker. Their jhana will become weaker and weaker. Then even their vipassana will become weaker. So we cannot say why it happened. So for about what the observing sila, I also mentioned here, right? Like this. So we cannot know exactly what the observing means. Like asking for money, sure, this is it, breaking precepts. Asking for donation without invitation, this is also breaking precept we can understand as a bhikkhu, right? For Sally, that reason not very common, right? Anyway, the main thing is vipassana, when she was practicing, maybe it's a vipassana, but after a long time no practicing, he lost everything. We can say like that. Okay?
Yes, Sādhu. Vandami Sādhu. This question is regarding the previous Abhidhamma lesson. Yeah, Sādhu, her question is regarding Sukha Vipassana Yanika. Let's say if someone without jhana, she is Vipassana Yanika, Sukha Vipassana Yanika. After practicing Vipassana here, she attains Sotapaddi Magga and Phala. Then without jhana, so after that she practiced the power methods. So when she practices power methods, that she has to follow step by step to break the compactness. For example, Rupa, Nama, and Paticca Samuppada, and in order to get Udayabhaya Jnana stage and so on, to fulfill the 7 purification, does she need to go step by steps if she already attained Sotapatti Magga by Sukha Vipassana Yanika method? Or there is another way to practice without following the full power system?
Actually, this is not power system. This is from Bali text,
其
right?
实不是 power 的止观禅法，这个是巴利的禅法。对不起。
So here the main thing is, whenever we have to practice, whenever we practice, we have to start with nama rupas. For example, Sotapanna. Okay, I have met many Sotapanna. That means they say that they are Sotapanna. But we have to ask. Now here in the question already mentioned, right? Breaking comparisons. So without breaking comparisons, he attains Sotapanna. This is a little risky. Then again, he also will say, Pajabrika, cause of a relationship, or Uttavaya Jnana like that. So actually, whenever we talk about Silavisuddhi, then we must overcome 20 types of identity view, Sakaya Ditti. Whenever we talk about the implications of overcoming doubts, or Pajabrika Jnana, cause apprehended knowledge, then we must overcome 16 types of doubt. Doubt about the past, doubt about the present, doubt about the future, something like that. So that means doubt about the past lives, doubt about future lives, and doubt about present lives, and so on. If we can overcome all these types of doubts, we can say we have achieved Pajabrika Jnana. Without knowing the past lives, if we say that you have attained Sotapatti, it's a little bit risky. Actually, from my point of view, this is impossible. Another thing is, okay, this is I have to say here a little bit openly. Whenever I met that kind of people, mostly I ask, can you enter into fruition attainment? This is the main point. If you can really enter into fruition attainment, then how long? Do you have any reviewing knowledge? If you have reviewing knowledge, then what kind of reviewing knowledge do you have? This is the main point of Sotapatti. So mostly whenever we ask, not only me, okay, I think many other teachers also experience the same. Whenever we ask this kind of things, they leave Fautoya. Right? So there are some people that they know that they haven't attained anything yet, they will continue in Fautoya. It depends on their choice, not our choice. Okay, anyway, now for your questions, according to your questions, I have to say, as long as you haven't known cause of a relationship properly, you have to do it. Without knowing all these things, if you can attain path and fruition knowledge, you have to consider is it real or not. I will not decide by myself. Okay?
Sādhu, there is another question. Also regarding the path knowledge. For example, someone practiced White Kasina Fourth Jhana. So after emerging from White Kasina Fourth Jhana, she discerned the first jhana Nama Dhamma as Anicca Dukkha Anatta. Okay, emerging from fourth jhana, discern first jhana Nama Dhamma. Okay, and then this Magga Jnana, Magga Citta arise will consist of fourth jhana Nama Dhamma with 3 Virati Citta, or you will contain the first jhana Nama Dhamma with 3 Virati Citta.
Okay. So that means we actually in the books already mentioned the one Practical Jhana and the Samasita Jhana, right? Paraka means foundation jhana and Samasita Jhana is higher than foundation jhana, Paraka Jhana, Mekha Phala will be according to that jhana.
Sādhu, so can Sādhu give example by using this White Kasina so that it will be very clear?
Okay. So in the books already mentioned, okay? So if somebody enter, as we say, somebody enter into the first jhana as foundations, okay? Then also, maybe he may discern 4 jhana. He may contemplate 4 jhana, nama, rupa, anicca, dukkha, anatta, attain path and fruition knowledge. Foundations is the first jhana. Then samasita is 4th jhana. Then it will be according to he will attain Magaphala with 4th jhana, with reality, right? If Paraka is a 4th jhana, samasita is 1st jhana, then attainment can be according to the higher jhana, right? We can say Paraka jhana. Paraka is 1st jhana, and also samasita is 4th jhana.
Yes.
So it will be according to 4th jhana. Magaphala will be according to 4th jhana. Then we also have another one, Pokali Jasaya. Pokali Jasaya means it depends on people's desire, meditators' desire. This is another options. And we have already talked about the one, Pokali Jasaya. Right? So that means it's your inclination. If your mind always inclined to 1st jhana, then it can be with 1st jhana. If you're always inclined to 2nd jhana, it can be like a 2nd jhana. It's Pokali Jasaya means your own inclination, your own intentions, or your preference. Okay, yeah, so it can be like that. We have 3 options, right?
Okay, so the question from Susie, is it better not to write donor's name in donation? Is sila for intention to improve meditation, is it considered a gain?
Okay, so writing donor's name is not really very much problem. Even now in modern community we have like a certificate or some voucher or something like that, right? We may give some receipts from the receiver. So if we just do for recollections, okay. For example, like a Jaganosati. In the case of Jaganosati, we have to recollect our own charity. It can be any material. For example, like a receipts from receiver. It also can be one of the supporting cause of recollection our charity. It's okay, not really big problem. Writing the name also, it's not really big problem. I mean, this is our minds. If our minds is pure, free, it will be okay.
And the second question is sila for intention to improve meditation, is this a gain?
We cannot say gain. This is the right purpose, it doesn't matter. Right? So it doesn't mean we may have even dharana, we have many different purposes. To beautify our minds, we do dharana. To beautify our mind, we just do sila. This is not gain or fame. We just do purely. It's a free mind. Okay.
Sādhu, there is one question. Yeah, if someone already know the problem, but he doesn't know or not sure what method should be used to solve the problem. So what is the cause of that uncertainty? Is it because he does uncertainty on how to solve the problem that he already know? So is it because of he doesn't understand the situation, or is his panya, his wisdom is not enough? What is the cause of unable to solve a problem that has already been known? He knows the problem, but he is not sure the solution.
I see.
What caused that he doesn't know the solution?
Okay, so there will be many other supporting causes and producing causes, right? The main thing is, you must have proper community. If you cannot know, your community can help you. This is the first thing we have to understand like that. So the main thing is association or communication. This is the one thing. Another thing is your own learning. So if you learn a lot, you can know the solution. Okay, self-study and also like help from other people. We can say Kalyana Mita and also yourself, right? Adasamapaniti, self-restraint. Also we can say we know that Kido, right? We're trained on discipline. This is also important. If you know Vinaya, you also know how to solve the problem. And if you know the person who can solve this problem, it also can be like Kalyana Mita. So okay, here we have 2 things, Kalyana Mita and yourself. Okay?
Please say the advice. Example, have anybody Example, monk sick must eat food at evening. It is break the Patimokha Sila. And how to solve this problem? The second one, selling the Dhamma book is broke Ajiwa Parisuddhi Sila. Saya tahu, please advise. Thank you.
So eating fruits in the evening, right?
Yes.
You say eating fruit or eating food?
Food.
Food or fruit? Fruit.
Food. Foods.
Food. Or food. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, food. Okay, so that means it depends on what kind of food we eat, right? For example, like honey, jaggery, molasses, sugar, all these things can be okay. But okay, that means it's not also, we're gonna say 100% good. Anyway, compared to other food, it's okay. So if we eat like a rice and fruits and like any other like beans or any other thing like that, it's not allowable. This we can say is a breaking precepts. What about selling Dhamma books as a layperson? We cannot say this is a breaking precepts. We cannot say this is a wrong livelihood. It's a right livelihood. So for bhikkhu, okay, we should not say anything. If a bhikkhu sell the books or anything, it cannot be, because this is a wrong livelihood. We must not be trader or merchant as a bhikkhu. Okay?
Okay, saya tahu. Thank you, saya tahu. Sādhu, Sādhu, Sādhu.
To ask a question, when you talk about the one root, so I mean moha is one root. So, but in fact, we know moha in fact has the cause, but you say there is no effect, because I think maybe you are according to the cause and effect, because moha is just one root. If my understanding is it because moha is a very strong, so he can just stand like independently alone without like two. He said some meaning like that, because in fact moha if moha is a cause, and then effect must be a lot, because moha is very important. Moha is like synonym of avijja, is the cause of suffering, right? So can we understand like that, because moha is very strong, so moha can stand alone, so no need to have like two. So it's just cause. In fact, many effects for the moha, right? Because of the moha, we can have many effects. But you say because only can stand. So we have some argument here. How to understand when you say that, because you say in the Dhamma talk is the cause, because moha is only one side, is only one cause, but there is no effect. How to understand this?
Okay. So when we talk about, that means moha, about root conditions?
Yes, root condition in hetu. Yes,
Sure.
in hetu.
The root condition, sure. Root condition is only one side. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
no. Sorry. Moha, okay, so. Okay, actually, also can be, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. Moha, actually, you know, the only delusion, moha, that means like a moha, metafada, chitasika, that's also who has moha, two-rooted consciousness, right?
Yes.
That one can be only one side. That's why the one. Okay, here the main is moha chitasika. That's associated with moha. Okay, only that one. Okay, for moha can be okay. If that one is a cause, then the moha can be only the effects, right? That's why one cannot be in both sides.
Cannot in both sides. So if it is moha in one chitasika, so like moha is the cause, and then the rest of the rest of the factor will be the effect.
It can be.
Can be.
Right? That can be, because moha is only moha chitasika and moha mula chitta this is excluded.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Moha Mula Citta is excluded.
No. Moha Chitasika, that associated with Moha Mula Chitta is excluded.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, if this like in one Moha Chitasika usually is 15. Okay, 15, and one Moha is the cause, and the rest of 15 is the effect. Can you say like that?
Sure. Can be, sure.
So
Yeah,
that is the one Moha Mula Citta as the cause, and then the rest of the 15 and including the Moha Citasika is the effect.
No, Moha Chitasika, okay, in this case of Hetu Pachayo, right? Moha Chitasika can be the cause. Okay.
Yeah. Moha Citasika, no need Mula.
Yeah. Moha Chitasika is the cause, and Moha Mula Citta is the effect, like this. Okay.
Oh, I see. So Moha Mula Citta will be the cause, and the Moha Citta, only Citta Mula is the effect.
Yeah,
Including
sure.
with another for 15 Tasika.
Sure.
Oh, like this. I don't, but why is not the Citta is the cause and is the Citasika is the cause?
Hetu Pachayo is Lova, Dosa, Moha, Alova, Adosa, Amoha. These are only six Citasikas are the cause.
Oh,
right?
I see. Okay. Not the Citta, right, Sādhu? It's the Citasika.
Sure.
Okay. So thank you so much. And then so another thing in the Tenali. So is you have the answer like about 20. Yeah, 这个是在哪里？这 is So the first lesson in your Patana lesson, and then it said that in the 5 Pancavokara realm, and you have 27 Citta. That is excluding the 4 Arupa, Vipaka, and then the Dve Panchavinyana and Arahat deaths, death minds. And then 32 associate Citasika in the Pawati and the Patisandi. So this the 4 courses. You say these four courses. So you ask us, we have to study better. And this is like in the Patisandi, Nama Rupa is Sahajata. And there is in the Pacaya Nidesa, and you say that you will explain later. But you say this is in the Practical Abhidhamma manual. Say about this.
Hetu Pachayo, which one? The first lesson, which one?
Yeah. It's something about the about the Sādhata, but Sādhata. Citasika Dhamma, Citta Samudhanam, Rupanam, Sādhata Pajena Pajayo. So in here, and then after that, you explained it about this in the 5 Pancavokara and 27 Citta, excluding the 4 Arupa, and then resultant consciousness, and then also Dve Panchavinyana and Arahat depth mind, and 32 associates. Yeah, 32 associate Citasika in the Pawati and the Patisandi. And then about these 4 courses. And then we say 4 cause and effect, 4 causes. So I don't know, because it's but confused where we get all this. You say during the Patisandi time, Rupa is Sādhata, And then this relation is Pacaya Nidesa. You said that you will explain later in later to explain. So
now I get confused.
Oh, you get confused. Yeah. Okay. So next time maybe I will type for you. Yeah, I want him. Okay, Sādhu, another one thing is you say about Adipati, and then in the Adipati is in the Javana. Is that right? Adipati in Javana is presented only in Javana.
Adipati can be Adipati can be Adipati. I should see again. Adipati can be. It depends on what types. For example, Aramana Adipati, it can be many, right? Sajjata Adipati and Aramana Adipati, we have two types of Adipati. It depends on it depends on what kinds. If Aramana Adipati, it will be very simple, right? Aramana, it depends on the Aramana, the object we take. If we talk about Sajjata Adipati, right? So it must be only Javana, sure. Of course, will be Chanda, Jita, Vidya, Vimansa, but what about effect will be only Javana.
Oh, I see. Effect only Javana.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think Adipati doesn't have a special only Jita, Sika, Vimansa, Virya, these three, right? Because Vimamsa must be Kusala, and then the Virya and Chanda, Jita can be Akusala or Kusala, right? Sādhu?
Sure.
Yeah. So in here, when you mention about Javana in the Adipati, only in the Javana, so in the Javana will be nothing special, right? Because of Adipati, it's just maybe it's Virya have more effort or something because it's supreme. Say Adipati like king, huh?
Yeah, sure. So one of them is a leading factor. It will be only different. Okay.
It's just a leading factor. Okay. So there is nothing in the resultant consciousness for Adipati, right?
No resultant.
No resultant.
No resultant.
Good evening, Bante. This is Bakun. I would like to ask a question regarding mana, arrogance. As we understand that actually mana is an obstacle for in our daily life. Because in our daily life, sometimes this mana can be very strong and sometimes very weak. Then it always affect our decision and action in life. So my question is, how can we very well to aware, recognize and overcome this mana in daily life to make it from strong to weak, to improve our life quality and learning? Thank you.
Okay, if we just trying to know other people's quality, then we can respect more. We can respect other people more. We may have less mana. This is one thing. Another thing is, if we are proud of ourselves too much, we have to think about someone superior to us, that we can subside our mana, right? So here I have two solutions. The first one is trying to respect other people's and their value, which you can subside your mana. Another one is, if you have mana, checking yourself, if you feel that you have a lot of mana, trying to see somebody higher than you, better than you, you can subside mana. This is the one thing, right? Okay. Another one is, actually, when you read the disadvantages of mana, you can subside mana also. So you have to check when you are mana, so you think you are higher and you become lower naturally. So similarly, if you have a lot of mana, for example, like a proud of your ability, then there are many other people They were trying to overtake you easily. So try to study the disadvantages of mana more and more, that you can try to overcome this problem. Okay?
Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Now we've reached the end of the session. Thank you very much for your teachings today, and thank you for our interpreter Bante for the translation. May we invite Sadhu to lead us in the making of aspirations and sharing of merits.
Itawata cha amehi sambadam punya sambadam sabbe devanumodandu sabbe buddhanumodandu sabbe saddhanumodandu sabba sampati siriya idam me nyadinam hotu sukhita hondu nyadayo idam me nyadinam hotu sukhita hondu nyadayo idam me nyadinam hotu sukhita hondu nyadayo idam me punyam asavekaya vaham hotu idam me punyam nibbanasa pacayo hotu mama punya bhagam sabbasadanam bhajemi te sabbe me samam punya bhagam lavandu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Sadhu, and everyone for your time and participation. Till we meet again next Saturday, may all be well and happy. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Thank you, Sadhu.